Human behavior doesn't start with conscious philosophy. It begins in the dark, driven by microscopic, hardwired networks firing before we formulate a rational thought. One of the most powerful of these biological realities is the innate human predisposition toward religion. We are a species genetically wired to seek out a higher power, to worship, and to construct rituals. This drive is coded into our DNA. It is a foundational element of the human condition, an instinct remaining active regardless of higher intellectual reasoning. The Torah's legal and ritual framework accepts this nature, acting as an engineering tool designed to capture and direct it. Left unguided and unregulated, this intense biological urge degrades into a destructive pathology known as the pagan disease. Advanced religion operates as a pragmatic regulatory mechanism, a system engineered to manage the volatility of human biological impulses. The symptoms of this unregulated worship are specific. Society regresses into superstitious manipulation, where people chase magic tricks and formulas, often called segulot, to control their fate. Ritual becomes a transactional tool of bribery. The masses operate under the illusion that they can manipulate the divine for personal, material gain. This leads to individuals scattering across the countryside, seeking salvation at the graves of the dead, or through the perceived infallibility of charismatic saints. This scattered pursuit of magical intervention is the opposite of objective truth. It requires a unified, objective system to correct it. The ultimate institutional restoration provides a highly specific, geographic, and constitutional cure. It is a system engineered to eradicate this biological pathology and establish absolute human freedom. The first pillar of this cure is strictly geographic, the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. The law establishes a prohibition against building localized shrines, backyard altars, or worshiping at personal sites of convenience. Furthermore, this central location remains free of graves, enforcing a total, physical separation between divine worship and the biological impurity of the dead. The sacrificial service functions as a precise, prescribed behavioral training regimen. These rituals systematically replace pagan habits with a disciplined, centralized protocol, training the practitioner to favor objective obedience over superstitious manipulation. By centralizing the ritual in one place and under strict rules, the system physically anchors humanity in a single, shared reality. The ritual cure is paired with an intellectual cure, the establishment of the Great Sanhedrin. Housed in the chamber of hewn stone, directly adjacent to the altar, this court represents the centralization of objective jurisprudence. It is composed of exactly 71 judges. This unified legal body replaces the chaotic exilic reliance on scattered, independent authorities, who often claim personal, infallible status. The mandate to restore judges, as at first, anchors the law in a formal institution. It prioritizes the stability of the legal code over the charisma of individual leaders. Divine law derives its authority from an institutional separation of powers, specifically rejecting the use of supernatural miracles or personal charisma in its jurisprudence. The third pillar of this constitutional cure is the monarchy, situated both physically and legally adjacent to the Supreme Court. The king operates under strict constitutional limits. He serves as a political administrator and a military commander, but never as the source of the law. This creates a society defined by freedom under the law. The king, the high priest, and the chief justice are all equally subordinate to the exact same legal code. To maintain this freedom, the system deploys its ultimate safeguard, the rejection of human infallibility at every level of power. This is codified in the law of the wrong instruction, which anticipates that the Supreme Court itself may issue an illegal ruling. A citizen who recognizes a court's error is strictly forbidden from obeying it. If they follow a ruling they know is wrong, they bear personal liability for the transgressions. The temple framework requires every citizen to maintain permanent, uncompromising personal intellectual responsibility. This tripartite system, the temple, the court, and the king, functions as the technical foundation for a specific global outcome. The objective focuses on resolving humanity's existential crises, the elimination of global war, famine, and systemic oppression. This framework is designed to end these cycles by establishing a universal legal infrastructure that goes beyond localized wealth or territorial conquest. To achieve this state, the system must neutralize the destructive national jealousies that drive human conflict. The constitutional framework captures this competitive human energy and refines it into productive, peaceful output. The system replaces the destruction of war with kinat sofrim, the jealousy of scribes. This intellectual competition channels ambition away from physical conquest and into the pursuit of wisdom. We have seen this redirect ambition before, where brilliant minds gather to compete not for territory, but to push the absolute boundaries of human understanding. This refined intellectual jealousy provides the engine for global scientific and moral advancement. When legal stability is guaranteed by a central court, massive long-term investments in sustainable infrastructure become viable across previous borders. High-speed trade lanes operate seamlessly because a unified legal system removes the friction of conflicting national laws and corrupt courts. Territorial expansion is replaced by cosmic discovery, as a unified humanity explores the universe instead of competing for limited land. Pristine, shared international research replaces siloed, competitive hoarding, enabling the collaborative eradication of disease. A global village operates seamlessly when every contract and exchange is protected by a single, objective, and transparent constitution. This integrated global civilization represents the practical manifestation of absolute justice, enduring peace, and the universal knowledge of God.